Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. It's been a little bit over 2 years at this point since the Ben 10 reboot ended back in April of 2021, and we've been left here wondering, what is the future of Ben 10? What is the future of this franchise? And really, there's been little to no updates at all from anybody over at Cartoon Network or Warner Brothers Discovery, at least until now. A few weeks back, I got a tweet from Jared Smith on Twitter, so quick shout out to you for letting me know about this. But essentially what happened was Jason DeMarco, who is the senior vice president of action and anime at Warner Brothers Discovery, he was doing an Ask Me Anything on Twitter. He actually said that he was just bored and felt like, passing the time with an Ask Me Anything. And Ben 10 fan 10,000 asked, do you have any news on what's going on with Ben 10 currently? And Jason responded saying, we have some stuff in development, we'll see if it goes anywhere. So this is the first indication or the first statement from anybody behind the scenes since Duncan Rolu spoke on the future of Ben 10 back in 2021. And that was, like I said, that was almost 2 years ago at this point, and we've had no indications, no comments from anybody over at the company until today. Now this tweet has since been deleted, which I'm assuming people over at Warner Brothers Discovery weren't exactly happy to hear someone at their company, someone who's a senior vice president pretty high up there, was discussing a show that hasn't been announced yet and hasn't been confirmed to be returning. Although he didn't really say all that much, I do think that there's some things we can take away from this. Like, first and foremost, he says we have some stuff in development, most likely indicating that they have multiple Ben 10 projects that are currently in development. If I had to guess what they were, your guess is as good as mine. The thing I will say though is Jason DeMarco is the senior vice president of anime and action. He's not the senior vice president of comedies over at Warner Brothers Discovery. So what I mean by this is the next iteration of Ben 10, and I've been saying this for a while, I think this further supports that the next iteration of Ben 10 is going to go back to Ben 10's roots. It is going to be an action-oriented series first. It's not going to be a comedy like the reboot was. It's going to be a more action-oriented show. It's going to have a plot that's developing throughout the series, most likely with some darker and more serious tones to it, just because if Jason DeMarco is working on this project, if he's overseeing development of it, that means it's not going to be a cartoony reboot. It's not going to be a comedy show meant for kids, because that's not Jason's department. His department is action and anime. It would be interesting if they all of a sudden made a Ben 10 anime. I wouldn't exactly be opposed to that. I just want to see a more action-oriented and more serious take on Ben, like we got with the original Ben 10, and even more so in Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, and to an extent in Omniverse as well. I want to continue that story in the Ben 10 universe. The other thing as well that I want to say about this is, like I said, he said that they have some stuff in development, most likely meaning multiple projects. Are these multiple projects that they want to just have pilots for each, or maybe some storyboards for each, or some general idea of where the plot's going so then they can narrow it down and pick one particular show? Or is it possible we're going to get multiple Ben 10 series in the future? Long ago I made a video discussing a Ben 10 prequel series titled Tennyson, and I'll leave a card above to that video. But why can't we get other series in the Ben 10 universe following other characters? Like, yes, first and foremost, I want to see Ben's story continue. In an ideal world, I want to see a continuation after Omniverse. That's what I want. I don't know if we're going to get that or not. I think it is plausible. I don't know if it's the most likely situation. I think most likely we're probably just going to get a brand new iteration of Ben, a brand new reboot, if you will, that has nothing to do with the original continuity or the reboot continuity. Either way, I think we're going to get a much more serious and darker series for Ben. What if they were making a series based on Ben? Let's say they have that like main series ongoing, then they have a spin-off show as well. As I said before, I made a video years ago discussing my idea for a prequel titled Tennyson, and essentially the series is following Grandpa Max as a plumber when he was, fighting Vilgax. They allude to the fact in the original series that Grandpa Max and Vilgax have a bit of a history. Grandpa Max is known as one of the best plumbers in the entire galaxy, right? Why not tell that story? Why not show us why Grandpa Max is this big plumber? Why is he well known throughout the galaxy? What did he do to become one of the best plumbers in the organization? I think that would be a story that would be awesome to see. Maybe we even get a story, I heard rumors about this a while ago, like years ago, if we get like a Gwen 10 spinoff series. That's not something that I necessarily would want to see. And I remember also seeing a rumor a while back as well that they were developing a Kevin Levin spinoff series, which in all honesty, that's not really something that I'd want to see as well. I feel feel like it wouldn't be that interesting as compared to like a Grandpa Max prequel show. I know I keep going back to that, but I feel like that would be a story that would just grab Ben 10 fans and get them back into the series, because it's something that a lot of people are always wondering about. What does Grandpa Max do? What did he do when he was a plumber that he's so world renowned and everyone knows him and Vilgax knows him and all this good stuff? The other thing I want to take away from this as well is he says we'll see if it goes anywhere. It might just be him speaking publicly. He doesn't want to say, yeah, we're definitely going to have a series, because who knows what happens in development, but one of these ideas better go somewhere. And the reason I say this is because I've been on the record saying this before, but Ben 10 is Cartoon Network's premier property. It is their number one moneymaker. It's the biggest IP they've ever created. The fact of the matter is, the Ben 10 reboot ended 2 years ago. There's been no indications from the network whether this series or franchise is going to continue in any facet, or if it's over and we're not going to see Ben 10 again. Obviously, I've been on the record saying this, that Ben 10 is so big, it is their moneymaker, it is their cash cow, that there's no way they don't make another Ben 10. The fact that he's saying we'll see if it goes anywhere, it better go somewhere. We've already been waiting 2 years. We were supposed to get an announcement back in December of 2021. That never happened. We're still waiting. One of these series better get announced this year. I know it seems like they're probably early in development based on what Jason DeMarco is saying, and who knows, when a show's in early development, who knows if it ever sees the light of day. But one of these shows better see the light of day, because I don't want to be making a video in 6 months from now still talking about what is next for Ben 10, because I've been making those videos periodically for the past 2 years. There's been no updates. It's been reading into tweets like this to try to determine what's next for Ben 10. At a given point, I feel like you owe it to your fan base to say something. Warner Brothers Discovery is supposed to have an upfront this month in May. Even if they come out at that upfront and just say, hey, we're working on a new Ben 10 series and we'll give you more details at a later date, that's fine. Just say something, because right now, the past 2 years has just been reading into tweets from Duncan Rolu and now this tweet from Jason DeMarco. That's all we've been going off of for Ben 10 for the past 2 years. And this is not the way you should treat any of your premier properties, but especially not the way you should be treating your premier property. This is Cartoon Network's biggest IP, and this is not the way to treat it. This is not the way to treat the fan base, especially since you have to remember as well, the core Ben 10 fan base, they're fans of the original continuity, which has not had anything since 2014. It's going to be 10 years next year since that ended, and in my opinion, what perfect way to bring Ben 10 back into the spotlight than to go back into that universe, to go back into that timeline and continue it with a 5th iteration of the original continuity taking place after Omniverse. I feel like that'd be the perfect thing. If they want to do spin-off series as well, like I said before, Tennyson, a Grandpa Max prequel series, go for it. But first and foremost, what we need right now, what the Ben 10 fan base needs, is a continuation of Ben's story in the original continuity. If they don't do that, at least make something serious, something darker in the Ben 10 world that we can all grasp onto and we can all enjoy, like we did the first 4 series for all those years that it was on Cartoon Network. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with me that it seems like they have multiple series in development right now, and it's time for them to actually come out and say what's going on with Ben 10 so we can stop reading into tweets like this? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.